I started this community because I remembered almost 2 years ago when I took the divine rest that I took and went on a spiritual sabbatical. I remembered that there were women who are in positions like me where they need a place to be able to process their emotions so that they can regain their confidence and their clarity. And I want to share with you like the impetus behind my sabbatical. My business was thriving and things were going well. Even though I had ended a significant business partnership, my business was still thriving. But I was working with clients who were dealing with some very complex issues, and I was a little bit out of alignment in terms of working. And so, as a result of that, that created a lot of stress, right? Because it's like, in many cases, you are someone who is a collegiate level professor and you are working with kids who are in middle school, and there are certain concepts and things that they are not in a position to apply, nor do they have the experience to apply. And so I noticed that I was starting to have these really blinding migraines. I mean, so much so, y'all, that like the temples in my head, I could feel them squeezing. Like the pressure was just so strong and it wasn't going away. And so as a result, I started to schedule my meetings where I could stand. Like I had ergonomics check. And so, I was doing all these things for ergonomics and just, making sure that everything was good and making the adjustments that I needed to make. And that still was not helping me. Now, during this time, I reconnected with someone who had been my spiritual coach, my holistic life coach in prior years. And I was sharing with her some of the transition that I was going through. And for her, it was, okay, well, make a choice. If you don't want to continue doing this, don't do it. If you do, right? But I was in a unique position where money was really the driving force in large, because I was making multi-six figures and I was also in a position to make that per month with my new business structure. But the things that I was going to have to sacrifice in order to do that, everything in my body, my soul, and my spirit was saying no. And little did I know, I had run out of compartments. Like I just had reached a point where I had no more places and spaces to fill or to hide or to tuck away the compartments of everything that I was dealing with, everything that I was processing, and I couldn't do it anymore. And that gave me a lot of freedom and relief. But also, it was a conversation that I needed to have with my husband where I could ask for his blessings, for his permission to take some time off, to take a sabbatical. And, because we're both the breadwinners. And so I needed to make sure that I had his blessings and I had his permission. And so I will share with you all that coming back today, I have reframed my complete business structure where I am helping clients to really, reground themselves and regain their confidence and their clarity, and to know that when they are taking rest, when they are taking divine rest, that it doesn't have to be from a place of weakness or of guilt or shame, but it can be from a space of emotional freedom and power and prowess. Because I'm going to tell you something. If something happens to you, right? You may not want to have the conversations with your spouse today. You may not want to have the conversations with your family today about helping you to be able to, take some divine rest, or about helping you to be able to, hire a holistic, spiritual life transformation coach like me. You may not be ready to do that, But when something happens to you, it's going to be too late. And I'm just so grateful that I took the cues before things got even worse for me. I'm so grateful that I had a supportive spouse. And that doesn't mean that we haven't made some adjustments in our lives to accommodate for those things for a season, y'all. And these are the kind of conversations that I'm having with my clients today about doing things that you need to do for you for a season, right? It's, when I have someone who's ambitious and high achieving and has a really great career and is generating six figures, oftentimes that comes with the pressure and the burden of being the breadwinner or being instrumental in the way that the income is made in the family, and feeling like I just can't do that. I can't take that time off. And I will tell you this, you're either going to do it when it's still a choice, or you're going to have to do it by force. But the choice right now is your choice. And that's why I love helping women to be able to navigate their transitions and to do so, to know and feel empowered that you can do so from a place of confidence and clarity and emotional freedom, and that you can do so from a place of where you are not on the defense or on the defensive, but you are on the offensive. Like, wouldn't that feel amazing? That felt amazing to me, to know that I could reframe my business, that I could change my structure, that I could, truly align with who God has called me to be, and to do so and to fully put my trust and my confidence in God, not only through words, but through action. And truth be told, most of us have one foot in the door and one foot out of the door when it comes to our faith with God, when it comes to our belief with God. It's like, God, I know that you're calling me to do this. I know that you've called me to do this, but I got that on, but they're depending on my paycheck, but they're depending on me to do this, but my family is depending on me to do that. And what about you depending on you to take care of you through transition, through transformation? What about you taking care of you for at least a season where you can reinforce yourself and regain this strong positioning that you need to be okay? That feels so amazing to me today. And I just want to share that with you, because that's how a lot of my work holistically looks like with women. There's this 90-second rule for being able to process emotion, but that's not true with everybody. Depending on the level of trauma that you've gone through or that you've experienced in your life, depending on the level of anxiety and the level of unrest that you may be going through right now in your life. And sometimes even going through transformation or transition that's good can still cause you to be off balance. It's not always just the bad, right? But I think that you should really take heed to how God is attempting to reposition you, and really allow yourself to go through a more formal and structured process for that transition. If you'd like to talk, hit me up in my inbox and we can certainly talk about ways that I can help you in a more formal and structured way. In a safe space where, not that this space isn't safe, but just there are certain conversations that should be a little bit more sacred and should be had behind the scenes, where I can hold space for you a little bit better.